Before I start, I want to give all honors and glories and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Yahweh Kakodash, Yahweh, which is the one true name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, but his one true name is Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who will well teach well, because those are the men who I learned this truth from, through the spirit and power, Yahweh Bashim Shai. Peace, blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect, and shalom to you, sincere brothers scattered abroad, pushing forth this word in truth and sincerity. I am the brother Mashiach Arazakah from the Servants of Yahweh Yahweh Shai Camp, Las Vegas, Nevada branch. And pretty much this lesson is going to be titled as Babylon the Great will be destroyed in nuclear fire. Babylon the Great will be destroyed in nuclear fire. So I'm going to get some scriptures out in this lesson. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. And the first precept I'm going to get out is Ezekiel 35. We'll start out Ezekiel 35. And Lord willing, this is edifying. Ezekiel 35:1, it says, Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir. What is Mount Seir? Who is Mount Seir? Mount Seir is this place called America. Now, there is an ancient Mount Seir, which is the city of Petra, the royal city, the Dead Sea, right? That's ancient Mount Seir, but Mount Seirs are built here again in America. This place called America is Babylon the Great, modern-day Rome, right? Modern-day Egypt, modern-day Mount Seir. It says, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. And who's doing this? The men of the Lord. Starting from the elders and apostles of Great Millstone on down to the sincere brothers like ourselves, we're prophesying against it. Alright, we're prophesying against it. We're facing Mount Seir and prophesying against it. It says, verse 3, And say unto it, Thus saith the Lord power, Behold, O Mount Seir, which is America, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. How the Lord is going to make this place desolate? With thermonuclear destruction. Alright, that's how America is going to be destroyed. Thermonuclear destruction. Verse 4, And I will lay thy cities waste. See, so the Lord is giving you a distinction, a depiction, letting you know that this place is going to be destroyed. He's giving warning and letting you know how it's going to be done. And it says, And I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate. See, it says, And thou shalt know that I am the Lord. So the Lord is going to cast his judgment on this place. This place is in vain wickedness. The philosophies, the politics, right, the philosophies, the false philosophies, the politics, the religions, everything. And when I say the religions, I'm talking about these false religions. They're not teaching the scriptures correctly, etc. They got the do as thou wilt, come as you are, spirit, prosperity. That's, the Lord ain't dealing with that stuff, man. That stuff angers the Lord. The paganism that's allowed here, this place is going to be destroyed. Verse 5, it says, Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force with the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Right, because Esau did everything with the sword. He conquered everything with the sword. That's why the scriptures say that the Lord, he said he's going to that's why it's going to be done back double to them. When you go to Revelation 18:4, right, it's going to receive a plague, and it's going to get done back double. Revelation 18:4, And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, right? Talking about the Israelites. You don't want to be lying down with this whore, which is America, being comfortable with it and going with everything is being given here and thinking everything is cool. You know, feeling comfortable, being embedded in this society. You don't want to do that. The Lord is telling you to come out of her. He's giving warning. It says that ye be not partakers of her sins, her philosophies, her politics, her false religions, right? And that ye receive not of her plagues, because one of the main plagues is the thermonuclear destruction. America is going to be destroyed. Verse 5, For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. See, you have oppressed the Lord's people, right? You have oppressed the Lord's people. And then you sweep it under the rug, you know, like everything is good, but it's not. The Lord remembers what you've done. It's not forgotten. You have committed bloodshed, rape, rob, murder. It is not forgotten. The Lord ain't forgotten that. Verse 6, it says, Reward her, talking about America, reward her, even as she rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works. Because you did everything by bloodshed, man. You raped, robbed, murder. You conquered everything with the force of the sword. It said, To her works in the cup which she hath filled to her double, right? All the destruction, all the sorrow, all the pain, you're going to get that double. You're going to get that double here in this place called America. You're going to get that double, and that's that destruction. Everything you've done is going to come back on you. Go back to that Ezekiel. I just had to get that out. You guys are going to get that double, man. Right? Going back to the force, right? Or the sword, it says, Ezekiel 35:5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity. You did. That's how you conquered everything. It says, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Verse 6, therefore, as I live, saith the Lord, power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Saith thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Verse 7, thus will I make Mount Seir, which is America, most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. See, so the Lord is going to cast his judgment out. The Lord is going to establish his judgment here. Jeremiah 51:1. Just Jeremiah 51:1. It says, thus saith the Lord. Anytime you see Lord in caps, that's talking about the Heavenly Father Yahweh. Behold, I will rise up against Babylon. Who is Babylon? What is Babylon? Babylon is this place called America. It says, and against them that dwell in the midst of them, right, that rise up against me a destroying wind. That's that thermonuclear destruction that's going to be established. That's going to be hitting here, making it desolate. Because the Lord is going to push this. This is a future prophecy. This is going to happen. And then missiles is not going to miss. That's in the scriptures. That's in 2 Esdras 16:13. The missiles are going to hit. 2 million nuclear missiles is going to hit. That's not going to be missed. The Lord is going to have it hit those exact points. Verse 2, it says, and will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. See? That's going into that World War III. As an example, they're all going to bomb each other. Because all these countries want to rule. Each nation want to rule. Because America think they're going to rule after World War III, but they're not. Yahweh Shai is. Verse 3, it says, against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow. This is going into a missile. It says, and against him that lifteth himself up in his braggadine, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her hosts. America is going to feel a gruesome awakening. Verse 4, thus it says, thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, which are the fucking Edomites, and they that are thrust through in her streets. Verse 5, for Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah, for his power of the Lord of hosts. It says, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. See, this is why the scriptures tells us this: flee out of the midst of Babylon. That's spiritually. You don't want to be embedded in the politics and the philosophies and all that here. You don't want to have those things and feel comfortable and follow in what is given here. No, you want to follow the Lord. You want to repent and know your power. Because this place is going to be destroyed. You embedded in these philosophies and the traditions here, and you just want to feel comfortable here in these paganisms, you're going to be destroyed here. There's no ifs or ands or buts about it. You want to live in wickedness, you're going to be destroyed here. It says, flee out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul. It says, but be not cut off in her iniquity. It says, be not cut off in her iniquity. For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. See, so the Lord is going to do vengeance. We're not going to do it. The Lord going to do it. And there's nothing you Edomites can do about that. It says, he will render unto her a recompense. It is due. What you have done, it is due. Right? What you have done, it is due. It says, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. Right? That made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore the nations are mad. Right? They have drunken of her wine. They have drunken of her philosophies. Revelations 17 talks about that, right? The nations drinking of her wine, right? I believe it's here it is right here, verse 2, Revelation 17:2. It says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, right? It says, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornications, right? Her philosophies, her politics, her false religions, right? They have drunken of her wine, of her fornication, which is the wickedness, right? Let's skip down to verse 4, right? Yeah, verse 4, it says, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, right? To these 17 heathen nations, to these different nations, I'll say not 17, well, 17 heathen different nations, but 17 heathen nations, but different nations. These different nations, America was appealing to her, all right? That woman, which is talking about that whore, was talking about America. It was appealing to them, right? It says, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication, right? That's what this place called America is all about. And these heathen nations they have their businesses here. They're all entwined with America. It's currency, everything. They're all current with America. So they feel comfortable here. That whore was appealing to them. So they laid in bed with this whore, right? So that's what that's talking about. So when you read that I think it was Jeremiah 51, that's what that's talking about right here. When you go down to right here, verse 7, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. We read that in Revelations 18, right? It says that made all the earth drunken, right? These nations have drunken of her wine. Talking about these different nations. They have businesses here. They have businesses in this place, right? So that whore, which is America, was appealing to them. It was appealing to them. The filthiness and wickedness. It says the nations have drunken of her wine. Before it says, therefore the nations are mad, right? Because now it's going into civil and unrest, and they're going to be turning against each other. Which that goes into Jeremiah 50 in verse 3. It says, for out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, talking about Russia, right? Which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast. And this is talking about America and its allies, right? And Russia is going to be coming out from the north, right? And we know that when we go to I think it's like Ezekiel 39 and 2, right? Ezekiel 39 and 1. It says, therefore, son of man, it says, prophesy against Gog, right? Gog, and say, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince, right? And that word chief means Ra'ash, and that word prince means Nashaya'ah. Nashaya'ah Ra'ash, which means chief prince or prince chief in the Hebrew. It says of Meshach and Tubal, which is in Turkey, right? So that's talking about Russia. Verse 2, and I will turn thee back and leave but the sixth part of thee, right? Because Russia is going to be divided into 6 parts. You're going to have one part stay at the homeland, guarding that region, and the rest of the 5 parts are going to go out into Jehoshaphat. That's where the major war going to take place. It says, and I will turn thee back and leave but the 6th part of thee, and will cause thee to come up from the north parts. See, so Russia is going to come from the north, right? It says, and bring thee up upon the mountains of Israel. So that's where that major war is going to take place. That's that war, right? That war. America is going to be destroyed in thermonuclear destruction, man. And Russia and all the countries are going to go into war with one another. This is Joel 3 and verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war and wake up the mighty men. The more prophecies being brought out, the more these mighty men are waking up. It says, let all the men of war draw near and let them come up. Verse 10, it says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears, and let the weak say I am strong. Because that's America. They say they strong. They believe they strong. They brag about their might, right? Daniel 7 and 8 talks about them. But these other nations seeing how weak this place called America has become. That's why they ain't doing treaties. They ain't doing none of that. They ready to go to war. Verse 11, it says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither, cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Right? Verse 12, it says, let the heathen be weakened and come up from the land, come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, right? For there will I sit and judge all the heathen round about, right? Because the Lord is going to do his derision from the Middle East. That's where that's going to take place at. The Lord is going to do his derision from the Middle East. There's going to be a lot of mayhem going on over there. That's where that war is going to take place, right? And I'm going to end it with this. Revelation, I think it's 9 and 16 or 9 and 17. Am I mistaken? 16. 9 and 16. So Salakia, going off top of the head. Revelation 9 and 16. It says, and the number of the army of the horses were 200,000. That's 200 million nuclear missiles. And I heard the number of them. Verse 17. And thus I saw the horse in the vision, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire and jacinth and brimstone. Brimstone is gunpowder, sulfur. That's how Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed. It was destroyed with sulfur, right? It says, and the heads of the horses were were as the heads of lions, right? This is talking about the nuclear missiles. These are talking about missiles. And out of her mouth issued fire and smoke and brimstone. This is talking about the nuclear missiles. It's giving you the description of the nuclear missiles. Verse 18, it says, by these three was the third part. It says, by these three were the third part of men killed, right? The wicked men. It says, by the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone which issued out of her mouths. Verse 19, it says, for their power is in their mouth and in their tails, right? For their tails were like unto serpents, right? Because how they shoot the missile, how the missile launches from the how the missile launches is goes into how the missile is being launched up. That's the tails, right? It says, for the tails were like unto serpents, and the heads with them it's like it, and with them they do hurt. See, so it's talking about the missile, how they launch it, how it's being launched. So America's going to be destroyed. And let me get out that to validate that, I want to go to second Esdras, get that, second Esdras 16, wrap it up with that. Second Esdras 16, is it 16 and 13? Let me see. Second Esdras, Salakia. Second Esdras 13. Is it 13? 16? It might be. It has to be 16. Yeah, 16, 13. I'm Salakia. I'm confusing myself. Salakia. Second Esdras 16:13, it says, for strong is the right hand that bendeth the bow. This is talking about the nuclear missiles, right? His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss. So those missiles is going to hit. They're not going to miss. The Lord's going to make sure they hit exactly the direct point he want them to hit. They're going to hit. It says, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. The nuclear missiles. Verse 16. This is 2nd Esdras 16:16. Like an arrow, talking about a nuclear missile, which is shot at a mighty archer, returneth not backward, even so the plague that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again. Right, they're gonna hit. So America is going to be destroyed in thermonuclear destruction, regardless if you believe it or not. So, hey, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honors and glories and praises to Yahweh B'Shem Ashai B'Shem Wakakudash. And Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Until next time I say, Shalom. Shalom.